Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is Christina Rizakos, and if you're new to my world, welcome. I'm an early childhood educator by trade. I ran my own childcare business for over 16 years, and what I do is I help childcare business owners from all over the world with their marketing needs. And in this video, I want to focus on a few ways you can decrease your stress level as a childcare business owner. So whether you're running a small home daycare or a larger center, these are things that you can definitely implement in your day-to-day to make sure that you are decreasing that stress level, because nobody wants you to be stressed out. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is figure out where your stress is coming from, okay? So looking back at all the times when I was running my center and I felt stress, anxiety, sleepless nights, short-tempered, feeling not like myself, I had to stop and think to myself, what is the root of this, right? And this was different depending on the season I was in. At the beginning, I was very anxious and really stressed out with my enrollment. We were a brand new daycare center, and we hadn't really done any marketing before we opened, so our numbers were not great. Sales were not coming in, cash flow was extremely low, and I was very stressed, right? So I knew at that point, okay, I need to do something about my marketing. Other times when, years down the road after that, when I felt stress, it was different things, right? So sometimes it was, I had become a mom and things had really were very different, right? As a working mom, that owned her own business, it was difficult to kind of figure out the new balance and what this new reality was, right? So I had to tackle that issue head on. Other times it was issues with my program wasn't aligning well, issues with the landlord, issues with the staff member that I did not, I didn't feel that she was a good fit for our program, and that caused a lot of stress and anxiety. So every time I felt stressed or overwhelmed, I had to sit and really think to myself, why am I stressed out? What is the root of this? And if I could do something about it, I did, right? And most of the time, we can. A lot of things that we cannot control, but when it comes to things that we can control, so marketing, making sure that we have quality people working for our program. These are all things that you can definitely control. A lot of the times we don't want to do something about them, and we feel that, if we step out and we do this might happen, so you'll be worse off. But I have found in my experience that once you figure out what the root is of your stress, you can really take steps to actually do something about it so that you're not stressed out, so that you are showing up every single day with the kids, with your staff, with the parents, and you feel good, you feel refreshed, you feel aligned, you feel like you're exactly where you need to be, okay? So that's the first thing I would strongly recommend. Figure out the root of this anxiety or the stress and really tackle it head on. Again, for you, it might be low enrollment. It might be health issues. It might be lack of energy, right? So these are all things that you can definitely do something about. The second thing that I would definitely suggest as a business owner, I know that we love doing all the things in our business just because most probably we know how to do all the things, right? So if you're a home daycare provider or a bigger center, you probably know how to do all the things in your business, right? You know how to, enroll kids, you know how to do the paperwork, you know how to do the cleaning, really balance all that out, right? But a lot of the times, we pack on so many things on our plate that we get so stressed out and overwhelmed that we just do not know what to do. We have kind of done this to ourselves. We've packed on so much that we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if this is you right now, if you are feeling really, really stressed out because you feel like you always have something to do, then it's time to automate or outsource or delegate, okay? And I know that a lot of people do not like this. A lot of people think that it's too expensive, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you, as someone that does not like outsourcing or asking for help in general, once I started doing this, it took such a load off of my soul, off of my chest, off of my plate. So when I was working in my daycare center, my childcare center, at the beginning, I did not have kids when I first started my business, so it was easy for me to pull those extra hours or to go in on the weekend. But once I became a mom, things really changed, and I knew that I could not pull those 12 12-hour work days I was doing before, right? Because I had to be at home with the kids. So I started to delegate. So for us, we had staff. So I would delegate the staff to do things that I would ordinarily do. Okay, so inventory, checklists, making sure that everything was up to state guidelines, making sure that the I don't know, the parents were taken care of, making sure that the schedules were done. These were all things that I was taking care of all the time. But when I felt like I could not take on anymore, then I kind of delegated this over to my staff. So I chose staff, that I knew would be able to take this on. And the rest, I outsourced it to my head educator. Now, if you don't have an educator, or if you don't have, a head educator or staff working for you, it's okay. You can still outsource things, right? So let's say if you're running a home daycare, and marketing freaks you out, or social media, keeping up with content, or your accounting, or your invoicing, right? These are all things that you can outsource to someone, for a very minimal fee, so that they can just take this on, take that off of your plate, so you can focus on other things, right? There's always a solution to every problem. We have to get out of that mindset of, I can't afford it, I don't know what to do first, it's scary, is it going to be good enough? And we really have to venture off and try to find different solutions, to keep our sanity, to keep our marbles in check, okay? So outsource, right? So one of the other things that I outsourced to a complete stranger at the beginning, before I didn't know her, when we outsourced this, was our bookkeeping. So when I started having my kids, and my last pregnancy, they were twins, so there was no way I could take care of any of that anymore. I just placed an ad. I think it was one in a local Facebook group, and somebody that was on maternity leave said, "Yes, you know what? Let me do this. I do this from home. I'm on mat leave. Blah blah blah." We met. We connected well. We felt comfortable around each other, and she took over our bookkeeping, and she was with us for a long time, up until we sold our daycare center. So it was great for me, because for a minimal fee, I just took all that off of my plate, and I did not have to worry about trying to figure out accounting and accounts receivable, and all that stuff that I just did not want to handle. So again, try to find solutions to things that you know that you can definitely be outsourcing, to take them off of your plate. And lastly, I think this is one of the best piece of advice I can give you if you're feeling stressed out and overwhelmed, is find time for yourself to focus on things that you enjoy doing. And I know that a lot of the times people throw that out there and they think, like, what, when, how? But here's the deal. I used to say exactly the same thing, especially when I had babies number 3 and 4. I felt completely limited as to what I could do. Every time I would go out, I would need to have like a double stroller or 2 car seats, somebody helping me. Like, it was really, really hard. But I understood that if I did not make an effort to find time for me, that I would not be able to be a good mom and a good business owner. There was no way. There was no way, because there were so many things to do all the time, and I was so anxious and overwhelmed and stressed out. And so I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision to say, okay, I'm not going to be doing things that really kind of waste my time, right? So, on social media, posting, scrolling, things like that really, really just, I limited that to like maybe a couple of minutes a day. Like, I did not want to look at anything like that. And I started focusing on other things that I enjoy doing, right? So for myself, I enjoyed working out, going for walks, meal prepping, cooking. I enjoyed going to the spa. I enjoyed meditating. So I started thinking of a time in my day when I can actually take 10-15 minutes, and that's all I started with, 10-15 minutes to focus on that. So whether that was a 15-minute walk, whether that was waking up a little bit earlier than the kids were, so I can just go downstairs and maybe walk on the treadmill for 10 minutes, whether that was just making some coffee and just doing this, like reading something or listening to a podcast before the kids woke up. Like, it really started with that, and it evolved to a morning routine that I have now. But it was not always me waking up at 4:30 like I do now. It was me waking up a couple of minutes, maybe 20 minutes before the kids did, and just kind of set the tone of the day myself, right? And this was really, really great when I actually started. I went back to work after the twins were born, because that really helped me kind of set the tone for the day. The older kids were in school, the twins were in daycare, and I didn't feel that rush I used to feel every time. I would wake up and the kids would wake up and everybody was just trying around to figure things out. And then I would go into work with all this stress, on my chest from a stressful morning, and then I would bring that to work. So that really did not help anybody. So I really had to take the time to do that. So find something that you enjoy doing. Again, it could be a podcast, it could be a Bible study, it could be listening to something on the radio, it could be reading a book, reading poetry, just journaling, meditating, praying, whatever that is for you. 10, 15 minutes a day whenever you can, and then try to grow it from there so that you know this is your sacred time, that nobody bothers you, that it's just you and that thing that you enjoy doing, so that you can be a better person, a better mother, a better business owner after you're done with your me time. And I promise you, once you implement this and it really becomes a habit, you're not going to want to let go of that at all, because you're going to see how much peace it brings you, and how much balance it brings in your day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I kind of gave you some things to consider or to try out if you are feeling stressed out or overwhelmed. I wanted to invite you as well to an open house that I'll be hosting in a few days. I actually run a marketing membership for home daycare providers, and every single month I do a live open house. I basically teach a little bit about marketing mistakes, and then I open up the doors to the marketing membership, and I show you exactly what types of things my members are experiencing in the membership, what they get, what types of wins they're having, what they're saying about it, and how they're growing their businesses organically online, on social media, but also with online marketing strategies that are working right now in our industry. So if you want to grab a seat, it's completely free to join. It's going to be given in live time, and it will be recorded as well. So we do a live Q&A at the end too, so it's really, really fun. I could actually get to see you guys and speak to you guys. I'll put the link in somewhere around the description of the video, so make sure you click that, sign up, show up, ask your questions, and I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye for now.